Hey everybody. Hey, I'm sorry, I forgot. I still have my mask on this is the mask I wear when I go to the Kroger's or grocery stores now because you're supposed to. It doesn't really keep you from getting infected, but if you're infected, like if you have the coronavirus, but maybe you're asymptomatic, it keeps your spit from landing on other people and it keeps you from infecting other people. So it's an act of love and kindness, and so I'm doing it now. The first time I did it was Saturday. First time I wore it was, but I went to the Food City on Hardin Valley because I didn't want to go for the first time like to my own Kroger's on my home court because it felt a little bit awkward, but now I'm good with it. It really just kind of keeps your spit droplets from landing on other people. And I have noticed in the past, like when I was given a message up there, that a little bit of my spit one time landed on somebody on the front row. I think it was a Warren. But so my only fear is that when this is all over with, they're going to make me wear this, mask when I'm up there talking so I don't spit on people. But these are not normal days, are they? It's just so different. In April, the first week of April, we should be hearing the buttery voice of Jim Nance saying, "The Masters, a tradition like no other." In April, normally I get up in the morning and I'll check and see if our Atlanta Braves, like if we went to bed during the 7th or the 8th inning, to see if they won the game. And now you get up and, check and see if there's any more cases in Knox County. How do you make these days that are so unnormal feel in some way normal? One thing I found is that if you just do the things that you always did every day, you brush your teeth every day, wash your hands every day. Except I'm washing my hands so much, like I'm starting to bleed on, like, I don't know if you can see that, but that's like bleeding, like from washing my hands. But just do the things that you normally do every day. I've got some things that they're kind of like things that I live by. And they've been important to me for like a number of years. I came up with them a few years ago, just thinking about what are the things that are the most important things to me that I want to remember every day and I want to live by every day. And if my house was like a football locker room, it would be written above the door. When I go out, I would just slap it. I give my all for Tennessee or whatever. And these are the things that I live by. And if I get in any kind of trouble, usually it's because I've forgotten one or more of these. But the things that I live by are these. My fight is for joy. My time is today. My job is to serve people. My goal is to please Jesus. And my strength is weakness. And so I'm living by those things the way I always did, in the way that was normal for me, and it makes these days seem in some ways normal. So like, for example, my fight is for joy. I have to fight to have joy in my life. I'm a person who has a natural tendency towards anxiety and, kind of depression and stuff like that. So for me, joy is a fight. And so I get up every morning, I get some coffee, and I fight for my joy. I open up the scriptures. I'm looking for reasons to praise Jesus, to thank Jesus for the life that I'm in, for the days that I'm living, and for the scripture that I'm reading, and I write them down, reasons to be joyful, and I write them down in my book, and then I just start praising Jesus for those things, and my heart just fills up with joy. So that's what I've always done, and I'm doing it now, even in these days, and it's making my days feel normal. I wake up and I open the scriptures and I fight for my joy, just like I always did. And maybe you think, well, I've never really done that. Well, one suggestion I have is maybe you could start doing it now and let it be normal to you now, like even in these difficult days that we're living. And then when all of this coronavirus is over with, it'll become the new normal. Here's another thing that I live by. I've done it for a long time, and because it's really the only way that, I could be happy, and I'm doing it now. My time is today. I'm only living this one day at a time. Like I live my life. Paul said, forget the things that are behind. So if it happened yesterday, I pretty much forget about it. People ask me, how's your week been? Sometimes I'll tell them. I don't remember. I forgot about it. I don't have a cast on my leg, so apparently I'm doing pretty good. But today is the only day I'm living. Jesus said, when he was talking in Matthew 6 about anxiety, he said one of the keys is give no thought for tomorrow. Don't think about tomorrow. You can't think about tomorrow and down the road and fully live today. I can't live in what's coming and have a heart that's freed of anxiety. I just can't. I can only think about today. Anxiety for me is kind of the way C.S. Lewis used to feel about quitting smoking. He said, I could quit smoking, but it would be a full-time job and I really wouldn't be able to do anything else. And I can allow anxiety in my life, but it would be a full-time job and I couldn't do anything else and I just can't do it. So I'm only focusing on today. I believe that God gives you the grace. The word grace in the New Testament, it means God's free gift, but it also means like strength. God gives you strength for today. He doesn't give you strength for tomorrow. He doesn't give you strength for next week. He gives you strength for that. You can't breathe all the air you're going to breathe this week at one time. You can't eat all the food you're going to eat this month in one time. You can't use all the toilet paper you're going to use in the next 2 weeks at once. Somebody's trying to do it, but you can't really do it. And God only gives you the strength for this day to live this day. So if you just stay in today and ask God to give you the strength to live it fully and joyfully and with love, He'll do it. My time is today. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they always said, you don't need to stop drinking for the rest of your life, only for today. Let's do this one day at a time. And you might think, I've never really done that. Make it your normal now. It's the only way you'll get through this. Really, I think with a heart full of joy and peace is you just take this one day at a time. Make this your new normal. And then when all this is over with, it'll be your new normal. Another thing that I've learned from somebody is my goal is to please God. That is my only goal for today, is just to please Jesus. In everything I do, I just live for the smile of one. I don't really care what a lot of people, you can't really care what people think of you. You love everybody, but you only live to please Him. He's given me kind of new jobs to do, but I'm just kind of doing them in a way to please Him. I'm involved in some things that I've never been involved before. One of them is like talking into a camera, which is new to me. So I actually kind of looked one time at myself, kind of like these things, and looked at myself like as if I was on a TV. And I realized, oh, you're the old people that everybody's so worried about. I didn't really realize that before. But there was a guy in the 1600s in France outside of Paris who was a part of a Roman Catholic order called the Carmelite, and his name was Nicholas Herman. He took the name Brother Lawrence, and he worked in the kitchen. And he wasn't an ordained priest or a bishop. He just worked in the kitchen. He was just a brother in the order. And he had such a joyful heart all the time. And people asked him, why are you so happy? And why are you so joyful? He said, because every day I live for only one goal. I live to please Jesus. He's the easiest one to please. Whether I'm working in the garden pulling weeds, whether I'm saying my prayers, whether I'm cleaning the kitchen, my goal is to do it in a way that pleases Jesus. And so everything gives me an opportunity to reach my goal and have a successful day. He said, if I could have a disease and suffer and do it in a way that pleases Jesus, it would be my highest joy. One of my favorite quotes from him is, he said, I don't know what God is doing. I am always very happy. He wrote this stuff down in letters and they put it in a book together in a book called The Practice of the Presence of God. I only live to please His heart every single day in the days that I live. And you might think I've never really thought about that. Just live to please Jesus one day at a time. Make that your normal. And when this is all over with, it'll be your new normal. Thanks, folks. We'll be back in a day or two. See you soon.